Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to Snow Watch. So we're only on the 7th day of November, but it looks like we've got some wintry conditions coming up, specifically for the northern part of the country. So if you're down in the south and southeast, I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed you're not going to get any snow. It's too early for snow from this particular pattern. It can snow even in the south. At this time of year, but the air isn't cold enough this time to do that. So we're looking at a snow situation for central northern parts of the country, particularly for northern England, Scotland, and especially over high ground, where we might see across the high ground of northern England and southwestern southern Scotland, we might see up to around 5 to 10 centimetres of snow tomorrow night. So I'll talk you through detail in a second, but before I get on with that, just to say about the ads at Gazwell, so link to articles on all the pages, have a browse widgets and click through the links. If there's any articles that you're interested in, you're helping us to pay for our website. Thanks very much for doing that. Gav Shop is open, so if you've got any Christmas shopping to do at Amazon between now and Christmas, just click the green button that says Christmas Shop, and then you go to Christmas Shop. Then from there, the key to it all, you'll be greeted by some snowflakes, and you'll be greeted by our Christmas, our Merry Christmas to you. It might be the first one that you have got this year, but the key to it already is to click through the Amazon banners. So you get to Christmas Shop, and then you'll see the Amazon banners. You click through those and go to Amazon, do your Christmas shopping as normal, and because you're going from Gazwell to Amazon, we get a revenue fee on the things that you are purchasing. Big thank you to everybody for doing that. You've got loads of time to get Christmas shopping done at Amazon. It's only early November, and we'll keep running it through until Christmas. So big thank you to everybody for doing that. Right, these are the fact charts. I'm going to start off with the fact charts from the UK Met Office. This is a human interpretation of the models by the forecasters at the Met Office. This is for midday tomorrow, and we see that we've got a cold wedge of air with a Scandinavian high up over Scandinavia, bitterly cold air up there, and the Atlantic is trying to dislodge, and it's bringing this weather front through, this occlusion that's running in to the cold air. Now what's going to happen is that the occlusion is going to push across the country and stall, and then an area of low pressure is going to develop along the occluded front. Now, if this was winter, if we were, say we was at 4 weeks on, perhaps even less than that, but certainly if we was 4 weeks on into December, this would be a widespread snow event pretty much across the whole of the country. When these type of scenarios happen, that you have a big block of cold air to the east, you have a weather front going across the country, particularly if it's an occlusion, and if it stalls, forms an area of low pressure along it, then it can produce big snow events. Because we're only early November, the air just isn't quite cold enough, but it is going to produce snow for northern parts of the country. We move through into midday on Wednesday, and you see that low pressure event is just off the East Anglian coast. Real slow process to push this front across the country, but by the midday, middle of the day on Wednesday, that low pressure and the front will be clearing away. Notice the high pressure over Scandinavia isn't really going anywhere fast, however, so the temperatures aren't going to really be picking up all that much, just a little bit less cold in the second half of the week, but hardly what you would call mild. So let's see how the GFS is dealing with this then. So this is midday tomorrow, midday Tuesday. We've got these weather systems coming in from the west. We know the occlusion is moving in to the west. There's the high pressure over Scandinavia, the big blocking feature that has given us these cold couple of days. Now, 6 o'clock in the evening tomorrow, we see the elongation in the isobars telling us that the front is stalling. So at this point, at 6 o'clock in the evening, the front is lying just here, and because it's stalling, there's an area of low pressure forming along that front. And there is the low pressure at 6 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. That low pressure is slap bang over the top of England, particularly eastern parts of England. Again, there's a weather front, there's an occlusion lying in that sort of zone, and typically it's along the area of low pressure that develops along the front that you get the heaviest precipitation and the greatest risk of snow. Now remember, for England and Wales, and most England and Wales, it'll be too mild for snow. Just just be heavy rain. It's going to be really wet as well. Don't underestimate the rain. We haven't had a great deal of heavy rain this autumn, but this looks a real soaker for most parts of the country overnight, Tuesday into Wednesday. But it's going to be on the northern and eastern side of this low pressure that we have the greatest risk of snow. So in this sort of area, that's perhaps a bit too far south. But certainly the northeast Midlands, parts of Staffordshire, places like that, and then further north into the Pennines, into southwestern Scotland, that's where the greatest risk of snow is going to be overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. That low pressure is taking a very long time to clear away to the east. On Wednesday, it's still there, very close to the East Anglian coast at midday on Wednesday. Upper air temperatures show we're in cold air across most parts of the country midday on Tuesday. -5 ice firm is there. By 6 o'clock in the evening, still quite cold. This wedge of yellow is the warmer sector that's coming in with this front. So anywhere that's in that yellow area, it can't snow. If temperatures are above 0 degrees at 850 HPA, it won't snow. We move through into midnight on Wednesday, and you notice how that yellow area is sort of sliding northwest to southeast. So it is covering most of England and Wales, but on its northern side and its northeastern side, that's where we've got the risk of that snow. The yellow area goes down into the southeast through the Midlands into East Anglia, southeast England, meaning it'll just be rain down there. But on the northern, northeastern side of that yellow area, that's where we might get the snow. So it's really from, say, the Humber through up in towards the Pennines, I mean, going northwards of that, and also Staffordshire, Derbyshire, places like that, northeast Midlands, then going northwards of that into the Pennines and into southwestern and southern parts of Scotland, where we have the greatest risk of snow. By midday on Wednesday, we're all back within that quite cold air. Precipitation, so midday tomorrow, there's a heavy rain coming in across Ireland. That spreads into western areas through the afternoon. Really wet there. You notice how heavy precipitation is. By midnight, look at that. Real soak across most parts of the country. It's rain mainly for England and Wales. Go further north in towards northern England, southern Scotland. That's where the risk of snow will be. And then that weather front and the low pressure and the rain moves eastwards through the course of Wednesday. Going to start off very frosty tomorrow. This is suggesting temperature down to -3, but it could be a bit colder than that, perhaps down to -5 in some rural areas. Won't get much warmer through the course of the day, so maximum temperatures tomorrow in the south be around 6 to 7 degrees. Further north, just 2s, 3s and 4s really for northern England and Scotland. Into the early hours of Wednesday, again you see it's too mild to snow, temperatures are too high to snow across much of England and Wales, 4s, 5s, 6s there, but from northern England up in towards Scotland, temperatures around 1, 2, 3 degrees, that's where we'll have the risk of snow. And it doesn't get a great deal milder on Wednesday itself. So let's see how the precipitation type forecast is measuring up at the Weather Outlook. This starts off at 9 o'clock in the morning tomorrow with rain just in across Ireland. This is based on the GFS, by the way, what we're just looking at. So through into the afternoon, we have rain coming in from the west, turns very wet across western areas. This white hatched area coming into Scotland and northwest England, that is where the rain is turning to snow. And then into the evening, tomorrow evening, we find that rain progressing. It was very heavy rain with those green and yellow colours there through much of Wales, in towards the Midlands. Further north, yes, we've got risk of heavy snow through parts of Scotland and northern England. Remember, there will be some snow coming down to lower ground here, but on the hills, I think we're going to get accumulations of snow, 2 or 3 inches, certainly possible. 3 o'clock in the morning, that wet weather is pushing eastwards across the Midlands in towards East Anglia, South East England, a real soaker for them. Again, it's Scotland, northern England, especially over hills, but not exclusively so, but we have snow through the early hours of Wednesday. And then through Wednesday morning, the whole lot pushes eastwards, clearing away, and things start to calm down. But it takes a very long time to clear that rain away from the east coast, and that's just indicative that the front is stalling, forming that area of low pressure along it. High-resolution Euro 4 model. This is UK Met Office product from Weather Online. So we've got rain coming into west at midday tomorrow into the afternoon. It turns very wet in the west. The pink area is where we've got snow developing across Scotland in the afternoon. And then into midnight, we find snow through large part of Scotland, actually, and that's coming even down to lower levels Not into eastern Scotland, close to the North Sea, likely to be rain there. The snow risk transfers down through the Pennines, and then further south of that, towards Staffordshire, Derbyshire, that sort of area, maybe Buxton. Anywhere further south of that, it looks like it's rain. Into 6 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, that rain's clearing away. The snow risk does transfer a little bit further south here, so that's going down in towards some parts of the Eastern Midlands. I'm not sure about that. I would restrict it really to Staffordshire and Derbyshire. But if this is right, it's coming down towards places like Leicestershire, Nottinghamshire, maybe Northamptonshire. But I think it'll be a bit further northwards of that, to be honest, for snow risk. And this is total snow accumulation from the Euroform model by the close of play of the particular model run, which is 6 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. And we see that much of western, southwestern, southern Scotland does have snow cover, particularly over elevation, but don't be surprised if there's a little bit on lower ground. And that does transfer down, particularly through the Pennines as well. Finally, the high-res WRF model from meteoseal.fo. You can find the links to all of these websites on the links page, by the way. There's the rain in the west, across Ireland, western Scotland, at 9 o'clock in the morning. That rain pushes through into the afternoon. Heavy rain up the Irish Sea, the white-hatched area again through Scotland down in towards northwestern England by 7 o'clock in the evening shows that rain is turning to snow. And then into the early hours of the Wednesday, we have very wet weather there in across England and Wales. From the North Midlands northwards up towards Scotland, that's where you have the risk of the rain turning to snow. It's particularly over high ground. Some could come down to lower levels. And then into Wednesday itself, that rain and snow pushes away into the North Sea. And that's the end of it. So it's further north. I think quite clearly demonstrated that. Scotland, Northern England, especially over the Pennines, but maybe some on lower ground as well. Possibly as possibly as far south as the north and north-east Midlands, so places like Staffordshire, Derbyshire, maybe a little bit further south than that in towards Nottinghamshire, maybe Yorkshire, those sort of areas. You have got risk of some snow tomorrow night, and it could accumulate over high grounds. It could be quite a dumping, I think, across the hills and the mountains of northern England and Scotland. Up to 5 to 10 centimetres on lower ground, probably not amounting to too much, but there could be a covering of snow, particularly for parts of northern England and Scotland on Wednesday morning. So further south of that, it's just really wet, and we haven't had much rain this autumn. So on Wednesday morning, you'll need to take care if you're off out and about in the southeast due to the rain, because the roads will be awash. So that's how it's looking. Earliest snow watch, I think, that I've ever done since I've been doing gas weather is back to 2012. We'll see how it turns out. Of course, if you do get any snow, remember to email your snow pictures to gasweathers@gmail.com. You can also tweet them to me at Gavin Partridge on Twitter, and we might share the best of those pictures in future videos. Right, that's all for now. Enjoy the snow if you get it. That's all for now. Thanks.